bilyong pera, hindi naman nila nakikita ang pangangailangan sa ibaba. Kaya ho ako'y nakiusap sa inyo, pwede bang i-download natin sa ibaba ang salapi ng bayan nang ito ay mapakinabangan ng kabaranggayan? Ang sabi ho niyo sa akin, anong proseso? Sabi ko, i-amend po natin ang Government Procurement Act. Natatandaan po ninyo yun?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sige, good. Ngayon, ang sabi niyo sa akin, Mr. Secretary, wag mo nang i-amend. Ayusin na lang natin ang IRR at matutugan na natin ang iyong problema. That was 2016. Magtatapos na tayo ng 2018. Mr. Secretary, bakit hindi natin yun binigyan ng pansin?
Your Honor, first of all, the premise of the question is wrong. We do not have underspending now. We have leaked underspending. In fact, we're slightly overspending. I don't know if the chart will show you here, but in 2014, Your Honor, underspending was about 13%. Okay? That's 2014. That's September, January to September, because we want to compare the present performance from the first 3 quarters of this year. As you can see, underspending, let me look at my chart here because you've been jumping in your questions. All right. 2014, from January to September, underspending was about 275.8 billion, as shown there. In 2015, underspending was, from January to September, was 14.5%, or about 276 billion, Your Honor. On our first year, or half the year, 2016, from January to September, the first 3 quarters, so we're just 1 quarter, underspending was cut to about 56 billion, okay, or 2.6. Now, in 2018, underspending is gone. In fact, we're slightly above the program. In fact, we have overspent by about 67 billion. Of course, we cannot spend what you have authorized us to spend. We're bound by that constraint. We can only spend what Congress has authorized us to spend. But we front-loaded the projects, and the ideal construction will be the first 6 months of the year. So that's why there's slight overspending. So the premise is wrong, Mr. Chairman, as can be shown there.
Well, Madam Speaker, Your Honor, the premise is not wrong. Your explanation is correct, but that's not the question. You're not answering my question.
What's the question?
The question is that we agree of localization. We agree. Pumayag po kayo.
Could you define localization? Because I don't understand what
Ang
localization means.
sinasabi ko sa inyo, localization, i-download natin ang mga project sa probinsya, sa bayan, at sa barangay. Ang kasalukuyang kaganapan, Mr. Secretary, may mga dumarating pong project per yorga sa aming mga distrito. At ang mga nakakakuha po ng mga project na ito, hindi po taga sa amin. Taga ibang lugar. Kaya ang sabi ko, para yung pera ng pamahalaan ay dumaloy sa kabarangayan, tingnan po ninyo ang isang barangay na mabibigyan mo ng farm to market o repair ng flood control sa halagang $250,000. Napakalaking tulong yan sa barangay. Magkakatrabaho ang ating mga kabarangay, ang pera maiiwan sa barangay. Hindi ho nyo sinunod yon. But I'll go to another major issue, Mr. Secretary. Kung ang concept ninyo at sinasabi ninyo sa akin, ang pera ng bayan ay dapat pangalagaan. Proper management, yan po ang inyong sinasabi sa mandate po ng DBM, di po ba? Ngayon, Mr. Secretary, kilala po ba ninyo si Vice Governor Esther Amor?
Yes, Your Honor.
Kilala ba ninyo si ang kanya pong kabiyak, Mayor Edwin Boboy Amor?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh. Sila ho ay tatakbong kandidato sa bayan ng Kasiguran at Sorsogon City. Ang kanila pong anak ay asawa ng inyong anak. Sila ho ay inyong in-laws. Tama po ba ako na meron po tayong project na gagawin sa dalawang lugar na ito na nagkakahalaga ng 2.8 billion?
I'm not aware of that. That's not part of your question. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can
I'm
answer
just-
that at the appropriate
Your Honor,
time,
I'm
Your
just
Honor.
saying that,
I can send a reply to your answer, to your
have-
question, Your Honor.
Well,
Let me tell you, Your Honor, I've served 3 presidents. I'm known for my integrity. Okay? I have no relatives, no friends as far as the public affairs are concerned. That's my reputation. That's why they call me Dr. No. Right? So I don't know what your question is all about.
No, no.
That's not part of your
Ang
question, Your
sinasabi
Honor.
ko po dito, Mr. Secretary, hindi ho, ito ho naman kasama na sa 218 at 219 eh. Tapos na ho tayo dito. Tapos na ang gain. It's presented and approved already. Not by this present leadership, but
Your
the
Honor,
former
my
leadership.
job as
So
DBM, may I reply, Your
if you
Honor?
will allow me to finish my question, Mr. Secretary.
Sure.
All of this will be undertaken by just one contractor. One. And if you like localization, you should insist that it is a contractor from Sorsogon. The contractor is from Bulacan. For you to be able to handle projects in billions and with this scope of work, you have a AAA array of heavy equipments, engineers, field offices, etc. Single proprietorship.
May I reply now, Your Honor? May I reply now? My job as DBM Secretary is to allocate resources. What happens to the line departments, that's not my concern, Your Honor. Okay? As we release documents, we say all the use of this fund shall be in accordance with all budgeting, accounting, and auditing rules and regulations. The whole government will come to screech, to a halt, if I have to look at every project that's being done all over the country, Your Honor. That's not my job. That's the job of the line department.
Well, that was my next question, Your Honor. Sinasabi po nyo na sinususi ninyo at chinecheck ninyo line item ang bawat nakalista sa GAA.
That's part of the
That's part of your job.
That's part of my job, to allocate resources per department. But to implement, that's not my job, Your Honor.
Mr. Secretary, you're delivering a message to this representation and to my colleague that this amount, concrete road, Bulan Sorsogon, 39 million. Carriageway, tertiary road, Kasiguran Road, 49 million. Construction, flood control infrastructure, Embargatoro, 39 million. So forth and so on. This long.
Correct,
Hindi
Your
nyo ito
Honor.
alam?
I cannot check. As I said, I just released the money to the line departments. They disburse the money. We do not disburse the money, by the way, because you're telling us that we're slow in disbursement. We released practically all by day one, 90% almost by day one. What they do with the money, that's the concern of the line department, Your
That
Honor.
may be so, Mr. Secretary, in other districts.
No,
But
it's
this
all
time,
nationwide, Your
there
Honor.
is a specific reason, and I won't even blame you for that. It's
We released-
emotional and family reason that your in-law's parent is running for a position and they may need help. They may need help. That's precisely what you did.
Let me tell you why we have reformed the system. What we call now is comprehensive release. When I serve under Mrs. Aquino, I serve under President Estrada, okay? When I was working with Senator Angara, who's the Senate President at that time, I was amazed that it takes about 6 months to prepare the budget and another 6 months for it to go through Congress, Your Honor. And now, after the budget is approved, the agencies cannot move yet. They are waiting for another document to be issued by DBM. That's the wrong way to do it because you already approved it and it has already been signed by the President. So when I assumed office under Mr. Estrada, we adopted what is a new system called what you see is what you get. Your passage of the bill into a law and signed by the President, that is the authority. So they no longer need us. Okay? I did that in 1999 and 2000. That was abandoned during the term of President Arroyo, and then abandoned also, that system. Now we're back to that system. Under Mr. Aquino, that was abandoned. So now we have gone to the same system that I adopted 20 years ago. What you see is what you get. What Congress has approved is automatically released, Your Honor.
Mr. Secretary, your treatment in other districts, offices, or related agency, I'm not questioning you. Maybe you're doing a good job. I'm just particularly concerned in this particular area where you show an extraordinary concern.
How do you say that? I don't even know that transaction, Your Honor. It's the job of DPWH, not mine. That's the job of the line departments. The line departments
Mr. Secretary,
disperse. They implement. I don't. Okay?
Are you telling this representation and addressing the plenary that there was no communication at all with your daughter, stating that my husband's parents is running for this
Absolutely
position?
none, Your Honor.
Hindi ho ninyo pinag-usapan.
Hindi namin
Kayo
walang
nagkikita sa
relative,
linggo,
walang
nagdi-dinner
friends as
kayo.
far as I'm
Hindi ho
concerned.
ninyo pinag-uusapan yun.
Wala,
Talaga.
hindi.
Wow.
Taga niyo sa bato.
Magaling yun.
As I said, there are no friends, friends.
Ay mali. Tama po naman ito. Ang sinasabi lang namin dito sa Kongreso, napakalaki ng binigay mo sa dalawang bayan.
Hindi po ako nagbigay. That was the request of DPWH.
Sa inyo.
And that was, you approved the request. It's part of the law. Hindi ho ba? That's part of the General Appropriations Bill, our act.
Well, standard practice po yung sinasabi niyo. Naniniwala naman ako na tama po yung sinasabi niyo. Ba't ang sinasabi namin dito? Sinasabi mo na hindi ka gumawa ng kaunting pakiusap man lang sa ibang ahensya na pakitulungan itong dalawang bayan na ito. Hindi ho niyo ginawa.
Never.
At ito pong
You know, whenever somebody wants me to request a department secretary, I say no, because they will ask more from me. That's my policy, Your Honor. And that's the truth.
Madam Speaker, Your Honor, there will be a continuing hearing on this on the Committee on Public Accountability because I don't really. There are a lot of other members who would like to raise questions. But the bottom line is this. Si Vice Governor Esther Hamor, incumbent Vice Governor ngayon po ng Lalawigan, ay tatakbong mayor ng Sorsogon City. Hindi ho ninyo alam yon.
I don't know that, Your Honor.
Yung gagawin ng father-in-law ng inyong anak, hindi ninyo alam.
I don't know and I don't care, Your Honor.
You expect us to believe that?
Yes, Your Honor, you have to believe me.
Mabuti walang kidlat ngayon dahil sa nakatamaan.
You have to believe me, Your Honor.
At hindi din ninyo alam, Mr. Secretary, na yung kanyang asawa ay tatakbong mayor ng Kasiguran.
I don't know, Your Honor.
Hindi rin ho sinabi sa inyo ng inyong anak na yung aking father-in-law tatakbo ding
They are very careful when they discuss these things. They don't
Do you
discuss
see
projects with me, Your Honor. They don't.
Mr. Secretary, are you close-knit family? Do
Can't you
have Sunday
believe
dinner?
what I'm telling you?
Nag-uusap-usap kayo pag Sunday?
Hindi
ganon?
po, pag nag-uusap-usap kami ay as a family lang. Hindi wala pong mga projects, walang mga ganitong
Hindi niya
klase.
pinag-uusapan yan.
Hindi po namin pinag-uusapan yan. Bawal po pag-usapan yan in our family. Okay?
At hindi din ninyo kilala itong City Yonsio Construction and Trading.
Absolutely, I haven't heard of Leon Shuko.
Kung hindi nyo kilala, wala hong nagsabi sa inyo na pakitulungan lang itong
Wala
kumpanya
po.
ito. Kung
But we-
ikaw ay nag-a-analyze, Mr. Secretary,
Yes.
ng
Yes.
line item budgeting, at nakita mo na 2.5 plus 998, 3.5 billion is awarded to just one company. Hindi ho tataas ang kilay ninyo?
No, I have seen projects where we approved for 14 billion po. 14 billion. We've given contracts worth 14 billion. DOTR for the subway. Around 10 billion for the long haul. That's not, and I don't,
This is not unusual.
hindi ko po alam yan. That's DPWH's job, not mine.
Na bulk ng area will be deployed doon po sa dalawang bayan na tatakbuhan. Hindi talaga ninyo binanggit man lang sa inyo o hiningi ng tulong na pakitulungan. Wala ho rin.
Wala po. Maybe we could move to the next question, Your Honor. You have 18 questions. I want to answer them.
No, we will continue on this on the Committee on Public Accountability. But there are other members who ask me if they can raise questions also regarding this matter. I just have one issue to take up. Mr. Secretary, were you approached by someone from the palace with the instruction to release the money for the road board, for the road fund?
We have talked about it many times, Your Honor, at the highest level. Let me tell you the decision on the road board. We will not release. We want the road board abolished, as you did, and then recalled. Okay? That's the policy. We will not release until the road board is abolished because we want to give Congress, who has the power of the purse, the decision to do what they want to do with the road, with the proceeds,
Your
which
Honor.
right now is about 45 billion, Your Honor.
You were informed already that when our good speaker,
Your Honor, I have not received
That
a contrary
was June.
directive from the President. So there
nirecall
will-
po niya yung congressional approval of abolishing the road board. As I've said, that is one law with good intention. And these are the event. Letter dated to you on July 8, returning the board resolutions of approved project by the board in 2018, April of 2018. In 2014, you return again to the board, the approved project number 06, December of 2017. Letter of Director Clavano to Secretary Diokno dated September 17, 2018, resubmitting road board request for the release of SARO for project approved by the board. Yan po ay mga request ng mga congressman.
Correct, Your Honor. I am familiar with those
I hope you
requests.
will understand the
Right.
plight of a congressman, Your Honor.
Yes, Your
Pag
Honor.
ho may masamang kalsada, bako-bako, nagkakabarahan, hindi po yung nagagalit sa Secretary of Public Works, hindi yung nagagalit sa inyo na may hawak ng panalapi, hindi ho sa gobyerno, hindi ho sa gobernador, hindi sa presidente. Kami pong mga congressman ang minumura.
As I said, Your Honor, the policy is that the road board should be abolished. We don't want a small group of unelected officials to decide on that amount. We want to give it back to Congress. And so until the road board is abolished,
But on the last letter,
we
Your
will
Honor,
not continue. We will
you
not
made a
release.
reply.
Yes.
You state that department will study the same and reevaluate its policy on the matter upon receiving the formal copy of the House resolution, rescinding the House representative approval on third reading of the bill, abolishing the road
I have not received a contrary
Mr. Secretary.
directive from the President, Your Honor. So that
What-
policy stands.
What do you mean by reevaluate?
Well, we'll bring it up with the President, but there's no change in the policy, Your Honor.
Whose policy?
This is the Executive Department's policy. We want the road board abolished. Why
I just
are
would
you
like to make this clear,
delegating?
Mr. Secretary,
Right.
Madam Speaker, dear members. This issue is between this representation and the good speaker. Palace has nothing to do with this.
No, the Senate also has its own position, abolishing the road board. And that's the policy of the palace, Your Honor. It's not my policy, it's the policy of the palace. Okay.
Madam Speaker, Your Honor, I will temporarily yield to my questioning as there are several members who would like to raise questions on the good secretary.
Thank you, Minority Leader, Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move to recognize the Majority Leader, the Honorable Rolando Andaya Jr.
Majority Leader Rolando Aidaya is recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Before I proceed, I'd like to accommodate the Honorable Atienza for just one question, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Atienza is recognized.
Salamat po, Mr. Majority Leader. This representation would like to take advantage of the presence of no less than the Secretary of the Department of Budget and Management. Now, wherein we know very well he has full control of the money of the government. It has been bruited about in media that this Congress is guilty of inserting pork barrel funds. They call it insertions. And Senator Ping Lacson has been repeatedly pointing at the members of Congress to be guilty of this. I'd like to ask him directly, in your full knowledge and control of the funds, since you're the one preparing the budget, would you say categorically if there are insertions in the nature of pork barrel or none at all?
Your Honor,
To clear the names of members of Congress who are all suffering public ridicule. Para bagang bumalik na tayo sa dating gawi. Ayaw po namin yun. Hindi po tayo pwedeng lumabag.
if
sa
you look at
saligang
the
batas.
budget process, the executive prepares the budget and the President submits the President's budget to the House. And then you can do what you want to do with the budget. You can mangle it, you can approve it, and toto, that's your prerogative. Okay?
So I ask the gentleman then, has this Congress mangled the budget that you proposed in the past years where you were holding the position of Secretary of Budget?
This Congress, no sir, not
No.
thus far, no.
Did I hear right? Hindi po gumagawa ng illegal itong kongresong ito. Tama po ba yun?
Tama po yan.
Salamat po. Yun po ang pinag-uusapan ng bayan. Tayo po ba ay gumagawa ng paraan upang makinabang sa pondo o ito po yung mga nakalagay sa budget as public improvement projects in the different districts? Mapalad nga lamang yun. Ibang distrito, katulad po ng binanggit ng ating minority leader, mapalad yung distrito ng mga kamag-anak ng ating sekretaryo. But I would never accuse him of being biased and providing funds for his relative. In the same manner, I accept his admission, this Congress has not committed any pork barrel violation, and therefore, Senator Lacson is way off the mark, and the allegations in media are not true. Thank you.
Thank you, Majority Leader. We recognize now Majority Leader Rolando Endaya.
Yes, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Today is quite special. This is for me, 18 years ago, the good secretary also stood in the same place for a question hour. And I had the chance to talk to him last time. And what a quite a coincidence. I was sporting the same haircut when that time happened 18 years ago. So here we go again, doing the same thing. Madam Speaker, this past 2 weeks has been very unique, shall we say. Last week, the Honorable Spokesman for the Palace has been saying that Congress should hurry up the budget, pass it on time. It's the President's budget. And our good secretary, the head of the DBCC, scaring everyone into thinking that we will have an economic slowdown if we do not pass the budget. But just recently, just now, the presidential spokesperson finally said, Congress now is allowed to scrutinize the budget. We are allowed to take our time. What a sudden change. Even the Senate seems to be very confused from the messaging of our economic managers. At first, they said that we need to extend our session to December 19 to pass it. Then they agreed to December 14 to pass it. Now they said January is okay. And though today, February will be okay. Probably they realized that all of those arguments were hogwash, to say the least, Madam Speaker. For if you look at it, the budget for 2018 is actually bigger than 2019. So if you reenact the budget, then it's bigger. Isn't that better? Simple logic dictates that's better. The good secretary himself that large ticket projects with the build are covered by a MAYOA. There's no need for a budget. So walang problema. There were scare tactics na yung mga salary increases daw hindi mangyayari kung walang bagong budget. Kalukuhan yan. If you recall, Madam Speaker, the first tranche of the increase of uniformed personnel took effect this year. Do you see any specific line item for the increase of salaries? None. Paano nangyari? Diniskartehan na lang ng ating DBM. Magaling Nangyari yon. So kung gusto mo, pwede. Diba? Now, during the term of our good secretary, as I recall, year 2000, the budget was passed February. Am I not correct?
That's true. That's correct, Your Honor.
Did the earth, did the heavens crash?
But there was a slowdown, Your Honor.
Yes, because you did not have the guts to raise revenues. Am I correct? Yes.
That's 20 years ago, Your Honor.
Yes.
I cannot recall.
You cannot recall, precisely, but I do recall. In 2007, the budget was passed March. But the first quarter growth was 6.9. And the second quarter growth was a mind-boggling 8.3. So I really don't know where they're getting that argument, Madam Speaker. What will really slow down, and this will really happen, is that meron tayong utang ngayon sa lahat ng mga departments na hindi mabayaran ngayon ng DBM, around 100 billion pesos. Would I be correct, Mr. Speaker?
I have to check the numbers, Your Honor.
I will refresh your memory. In your last DBCC meeting on October, you already have overspent 20 billion. Am I correct?
That's correct. That's
Yes,
what I'm saying.
October.
That we're not underspending.
October. Yeah, I'm not saying you're underspending.
Yes.
I'm saying you've overspent
Sure.
tremendously. Let me read to you the statement of Yusek Cabral yesterday. And I'm just referring to the DPWH. Ang sabi niya, as of November, meron po kaming binigay sa DBM na 44 billion na utang sa mga kontraktor. Ang sagot niya, tanong ko, mababayaran pa? Ang sagot sa akin niya, Sir, as of now, wala pa po kaming tinatanggap na cash. Ang sabi po sa akin ng mga kontraktor, pa cash-based budget pa kayo, wala naman palang kayong cash. So isn't it true, Madam Speaker, that at the end of the year, we will have